All right. Good evening and welcome to the Reliable Representation Talk Show. Y'all, Ms. Bowman over there skinning and grinning because she didn't know we were that high tech. You didn't know about that countdown, did you? Ah, look, y'all never know what we got, what tricks we got going on. How you doing today, Miss Bowman over there?
I'm good. How about you?
You just be ready for Thursday so you can just be so tickled and just laugh your little soul out of you.
If you don't get started, I'll be fine. But you always got to get started.
I'm gonna be on good behavior. But
Please do.
we kicked it off a little earlier today. A lot of people gonna be getting in at 6 o'clock. But see, that's why it's just be early because you never know what might jump off.
That's it.
Before we really get into the show, wanna definitely ask for thoughts and prayers for um Alderman, well, previous Alderman David Moore from the city of Byram. He's a former alderman. He passed away yesterday, and so
Hmm.
he was on the board of alderman. I want to say at least 2 terms, maybe 3 terms. I'm not sure how many terms, but he did pass away yesterday. So we definitely want to keep Alderman Moore in our prayers and his family in our prayers, and we just want to thank him for his years of public service to the city of Byram and all of the efforts and strides he did as we reincorporated and became a city. So he will be very much missed, and just Godspeed. Just want to keep his family lifted up in prayers. It was unexpected, wasn't something that we were expecting. But the thing about death is that's one appointment you can't miss.
No
That's one
rescheduling for that.
you can't reschedule it, and another thing, you don't know when that appointment is coming. It's just gonna come.
That is true.
So we got to make sure that we're ready, that we live in the best way that we can, that we're treating people right, and that we just doing. We're not perfect, but we gotta strive to do things as perfectly as we possibly can. So definitely, please pray for the Byron family and Byron community and the loss of Alderman David Moore.
Oh, I'm so sad to hear that. I remember seeing him a couple times at you all's board meeting.
Yeah, and he was a really good guy. He did a lot of I know a lot of his constituents say he would always come and knock on their door around Christmas time and pass out calendars for the upcoming year. And
Okay.
he was a strong advocate for Jackson Byram. He was ready for Jax to come, and so he definitely made sure that that happened. And just he was a great guy. And hello to you, Miss Missy Rush from Greenville, Michigan. MI is Michigan, right? Michigan.
Yes,
MI.
sir.
Michigan. All right, from Michigan. A lot of people think MI is Mississippi, but it's Michigan. All right, so let's ease on into the show just a little bit. I don't know what we're talking about today, Ms. Bowman. I know you got a whole checklist, I'm sure. So we're gonna just start checking them off.
Well, unfortunately, I do not have a checklist today. Can you believe that I have been on the go? So I do not have one. But I do want to say, you all, that it is Domestic Violence Month. And I definitely want to share my heartfelt sympathy out to these two women that we've noticed or had the preview of seen on the news within 2 weeks, I believe, who have definitely been victimized of domestic violence. And you all, it's not always physical. There are times when it's emotional, psychological, financial. So I advise everyone, male and female, get the help that you need. Make certain you have a great friend or confidant in your circle that can definitely assist you. A lot of times you can't say that you're leaving. You have to slowly ease away, or suffer the risk of being killed or something else happening. And so I definitely want to send out my heartfelt condolences to those families, because holiday time is approaching and these families will have a rough holiday.
Let me tell you one thing about domestic violence and fatalities coming from domestic violence that really hurt and really bother me is, we talk about, like we were just talking about earlier, nobody knows the day or time, when they're going to be called home. But whenever I hear about domestic violence, I always say to myself that this is a death that was avoidable.
Definitely.
That's one thing I look at. Like, I feel like the victim or the person that lost their life was cheated out of life by
Hmm.
someone that just had some things going on up here, some mental things going on. that's why I'm so, that's why I fight for it. I champion it because I feel if we put the right resources in place that can help people that are suffering through it, that we can ultimately save some lives. So,
Very true.
holiday time, we have children that are involved. And when you think about parents that have, if one parent, takes the life of another parent, you have two children, not two children, but you have children that have lost both parents.
Hmm.
And another thing to think of is think of the dynamics. So you're going to have the mother side and the father side of the family, and they're going to have a hard time coming together for the betterment of the kids. And so you're going to have animosity with the families, a divided family, because one going to be saying that. And so, y'all, it's a lot that we have to think about, when it comes to just so many elements and moving pieces. And Miss Missy Rush says she hate the holidays, Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Her daughter was murdered 11/23/23, Thanksgiving of that year. Just, and think about this family. Thanksgiving is a time for families to get together. And that has to be a sore reminder each year of what happened on that day.
Definitely.
So, I mean, we're going to, and I'm going to tell everybody, if you're tired of hearing us talk about it, just go on, turn the station, unplug the computer, unfollow, disconnect, block, do whatever it is. Because as long as I got breath in my body, I'm going to continue to talk about this. We're going to talk about this until we don't have to talk about it anymore because we found solutions for it. And so we got to sound like a broken record. We will sound like a broken record because something has to be done. And good evening to you, Miss Mary Briley, from none other than Columbus, Ohio, via way of Yazoo City, Mississippi, the Mississippi Delta. But so definitely want to keep those families in our prayers and see what we can to provide the proper resources to those families. And everybody know, I don't have my shirt on that I had it on earlier, but the theme was everyone knows someone. That means we all know somebody that's suffering and dealing with domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is, one thing I do want people to be careful of, whenever you see a situation like that, be careful how you put yourself in it.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot help a person until they're ready to leave. So don't try to force a person to leave. If a person calls you and say that me and my significant other are in a fight right now, can you come pick me up? Do not go and get involved in that. Call the police, tell the police to go over there, and you stay a safe distance until the situation has de-escalated. Because if you go over there and that person, that the abuser is really off the charts, they will do something to harm you.
Very true.
And so, we have to be really careful. A lot of times when people call and say, hey, we're in an argument, can you come? And we want to rescue our friends and family, and we're going to run over there. That's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to really, really think there are so many, domestic violence is so dangerous because there's so many elements and different things, to it. I mean, it's just like, we tell our kids at school that if you see a fight, run away from the fight. Don't run to the fight, because if you run to the fight, somebody might have a weapon, pull a weapon out and start shooting, and you an innocent bystander. And so these things happen so much.
I do.
And a lot of times we will know people are victims of domestic violence, and we recognize it from the outside, but they don't recognize it.
Very true.
And we'll try to do what we can to pull that person out of the situation, and that person goes against us because we're trying to help. And so we have to, in situations like that, we have to be really, really careful. We have to treat it with kid gloves and be a resource to them. Let them know, hey, I don't know what if you have something going on at home, but if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here to listen to you. I promise you, I won't judge you. I promise you, I won't try to do anything, against your wishes. But you have to reestablish that trust, because these people, these perpetrators of domestic violence, the first thing that they do is they alienate you from your friends, family, anybody that loves you.
Mm-hmm.
They pull you away from that person. And when they do that, they strip your self-being. They tell you that you're nothing, you're not going to be anything, you're garbage, you're the bottom of the totem pole, and nobody loves you. I'm the only one that care about you. Your family hates you. And when they tell a person this, they believe it. And that person, the victim, becomes dependent on the perpetrator, because the perpetrator say, I'm the only one that love you and care about you. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't abuse you. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't talk down to you. I talk down to you because I want you to be better. Those are the manipulative mind games that they play with
Definitely.
people. And so it can be so bad that a person that's a victim of domestic violence will turn and hurt their own friends and family listening to the perpetrator. So these things go really, really deep. And we have to realize that it's a mental thing.
It is.
Because so many people say, why does he keep going back to her? Why does she keep going back there? She must like it. He must like it. No, they don't like it. They've been deep reprogrammed in their mind.
Yep.
To become dependent. And here we go. See, Ms. Rush says a victim will go back about times, will not stop making victims feel like they are in the wrong. That's it. The perpetrators will tell the victims that you are wrong. I'm beating you because you are wrong, and the victims will believe it.
Definitely.
The victim, like, oh wow, well, yeah, I should have cleaned the kitchen up last night. That's why he hit me. Next time I'm gonna clean the kitchen up. That's how they really get into people's minds. And so I'm saying this to tell people that understand that when we have people that are suffering from abuse, that it's not, it's not your family member. This is not your friend. Somebody has gotten in and stripped away their self-worth, and it's causing them to think that they're lesser than. As Ms. Mayor Bradley said, police need to already be there when you arrive. There you go. To have the individual under their watch as you get your belongings. Fabian, it's even scary once you leave. That's it. Ms. Bradley is right. I'm going to tell y'all, I've never told anybody this story before, but back in probably about 2007, 2008, I had a tenant and at some rental property, and her and her boyfriend would get into it at times. And so she called me at like 9 o'clock one night.
Mm-hmm.
Can you come over here? And, me and him just got into it. Can you come and change your locks? I'm putting them out, change your locks. And so me not knowing any better, I hopped in my car, went over there to go and change the locks on the door. Got there, the man was still there. And so I just started changing the locks. And as I was changing the locks, the man just got in my face, started cussing me out, told me, yeah, you having sex with her. That's why you over. I said, no. So hold on now, let me clear the air. I said, y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good night. Y'all got to work this out. But think about that man could have killed me because I'm going over there, listening to her, and he not knowing. And after then, I say, Lord, all it takes is one time. I promise you, I'm not getting in anybody else's mess. I told her when she called me, I said, you need to call locksmith. I'm not a locksmith. So, call Papa Lock or anybody, but I'm not getting it anymore. But you have to be really, really careful. Miss Rush said, even some police, judge, family, friends, there have been instances where, people have been getting abused by someone, a law enforcement judges or whatever have you, and they've been afraid to report it because they're like, how we're going to get the justice that we deserve. So this is a major, major problem that we're seeing. And I mean, it's happening, we're talking about two just in the city of Clinton, really, right, in the past, week or two?
2 weeks.
Past 2 weeks in the city of Clinton. And let's look at Clinton, Mississippi for a moment. Clinton, Mississippi does not have homicides often. It's probably been, I don't know how long since there was a homicide in Clinton, Mississippi. And here we are 2 weeks apart, two separate incidents, two separate people that don't even know each other as far as I know. And this happened. Ms. Lisa Evangelist Lawson said, yes, sir. Evangelist Lawson know what I'm talking about, but that's the truth. But we're going to have to do something. And we do have things that we're implementing and putting in place. And I'm just hoping and praying that these things will provide some proper interventions and help us really study domestic violence. One thing I do want to say about it is domestic violence has been here for a long time. The reason that we're starting to see a lot of it now is because we recognize what it is.
Very true.
Unbeknownst to many people, and this is something we're working on next session, whenever there's a case or incidences of domestic violence, we don't keep data on it. So really? I can't call law enforcement right now and say, can y'all tell me how many domestic violence deaths we had in 2025 or 2024 because they don't track it, they don't code it, they're only coded as homicides. So what we're doing is we're working on a way to make it available to police when they're filling out reports to check off domestic violence so that we'll be able to ascertain more so how many oh my goodness, okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Now I'm here for class and I just got an alert that class is canceled.
Oh wow.
Okay, but back to what I was saying though. Yeah, we're trying to make it a way where we can track it and put numbers as to how many instances are occurring. Ms. Rush just asked how the task force is going. So we now have established a domestic violence fatality review board here in Mississippi. They're going to be having their first meeting soon to start establishing policy, rules, and things around domestic violence. And so I'm very, very excited about that, as we have that happening. It's very much needed. So Ms. Bowman, what else we got going on?
So we do want to say big congratulations to Jackson State as they take on the Grambling in Vegas this weekend. I hope that you all definitely handle yourselves govern yourselves accordingly, as they say in church, govern yourselves accordingly in Vegas, because that's a long way to get back driving or walking. So definitely make sure you all go there, have fun, enjoy the festivities, but make certain that you keep the main thing. No violence. We definitely want to bring back the W back to Lynch Street. So I do want to say kudos to Jackson State this weekend.
And I'm going to tell you, they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but you commit a crime out there and you're going to stay in Vegas. So I just want y'all to know that y'all believe that hype about it stay there. It don't. That before social media, cell phones and all. So if you can, they write though, but you know what they write? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So you commit a crime in Vegas, you're going to stay there with it. So it's going to stay there. You ain't coming back over here. So y'all, please be careful. Don't be able to do it with y'all. Y'all will do what's right out there. But we're going to claim that victory, and that W is coming back to Jackson. So we are excited about that. Also want to congratulate our Byram Middle School. Oh, somebody going to be checking me in my inbox. But the Byram Middle School Junior Bulldog football team. We want to commend them and celebrate them on a successful season. They won every single game this season.
And these are middle school boys?
Middle school, and they are the Little Six champions for their division.
Wow.
And so we honored them at the state capitol on Tuesday. Had them at the state capitol. They got to come up, get a tour, pictures, gave them proclamations. So we want to celebrate our kids every single chance we get. Like I was saying earlier about domestic violence, we ain't gonna stop celebrating our kids. If you don't like it, turn the channel. Going on over the paid program or somewhere, because we are going to celebrate them every single chance. Because if they were doing something bad and getting in trouble, you better believe somebody going to be celebrating that. So when they do good stuff, we're going to celebrate until we can't celebrate them anymore.
Definitely.
They are over at Byram City Hall right now getting at 7:00 getting recognized at City Hall. They've been recognized at the Capitol. They've been recognized at the district office. And so we're going to celebrate them until we just can't say. When we get done, they're supposed to be tired of hearing about Byram Middle School. But we have to celebrate our kids, because if we don't celebrate them and tell them how great they are, and nobody else will.
Definitely.
So definitely a shout out to every single person that was a part of this success. Dr. Jones, principal, Mr. Jones, athletic director, Coach McGee, first year there at Byram Middle, came in, completely turned that program around. They went from winning 0 games to an undefeated season.
That's powerful. That lets you know what people can do.
That lets you know. This is something that we saw happen at Jackson State. So when we look at our football team, when Deion Sanders came to Jackson State, how the program was rebuilt, and he built the program. But what we didn't realize is we had the talent here already. We just didn't have the leadership to bring the best out in the talent. We had great seasons when Deion was here. We even went to the SWAC championship, didn't win, but when he left, everybody was saying, "Oh no, And after he left, what happened? We won the SWAC championship.
Sure did.
And so we got another good leader in place of Deion Sanders. But at the time, that's what we needed at Jackson State to show our team and show our city that the talent was already here. We just need somebody that can bring out the best in them.
That's it.
And nothing different has happened over at Byron Middle School, other than the coaching staff changed and brought out the best of our football team. So when they say leadership matters, leadership matters. Every single place, leadership is important.
It does. It's pivotal, paramount.
It is. It's pivotal. It's paramount. And
so I do want to ask this. I listened to some of the hearing today about Jackson Water. I'm ready for us to get on a same sheet of music notes about Jackson Water. The bills are ridiculous. The water is back brown. So I'm trying to see what was the takeover, the purpose of the takeover, if we're still encountering some of the same issues. And I'm quite certain I'm not the only person.
Thank you for that question. I'm glad you brought that up because I was itching to talk about the hearing. And so yes, we had a hearing today through one of the committees I'm on. And at the hearing, the first person on the agenda was Jackson Water. And guess what happened?
What happened?
Jackson Water was not present.
They didn't send no representative?
So now, and that was my question for Madam Chair was, so you're telling me that Jackson Water didn't come, nor anyone from the company? And she said, no, nobody came. So, here is my dilemma. We have a water system. We have a water system that's been taken over, and I don't deal with the scheduling or the logistics of it. So I don't know who was scheduled, when they were scheduled, or what happened. But when you're at a Jackson Water, and your state legislature, which pretty much paved the way to and of course with a federal conservatorship, has really come in and taken over this city's water system, and you have the legislature calling you in for a hearing so we can determine what we're going to do with the water system in 2026, and you not make that a priority for either you to attend or someone for your office to attend, to me, that's a slap in the face.
It is.
That shows
you don't care.
That's it, that you don't take what we have happening serious. And I had this. These are my notes. I had notes. I had notes for the hearing, questions for Jackson Water, questions for Jackson Water at the actual hearing, because this is the issue that I have, and I'm going to kind of go through them a little bit. I have a constituent. She reached out to me on October 2nd and told me that she got home from a funeral and her water was turned off. She told me after it was turned off, she got a bill for $26,689.77 from Jackson Water. When she called them, they told her she had a major leak. They told her this major leak has been going on for quite some time. That's how the bill got to be so high. She told me she has not received a water bill in over 10 years.
What?
Yes. So she called and spoke with Jackson Water. They told her, you have a major leak. She said, okay, I'm going to get somebody out. She has sons that are plumbers. Her sons came out, walked her land, told them that it was no leak. She called Jackson Water, and I intervened because she got me involved. And so she told Jackson Water there was no leak. Okay, guess what Jackson Water said?
What was their response?
Well, our meters are good. It has to be a leak. And so we want to send our plumbers out to look at it, which is Ford Plumbing. This is subcontractor. So she like, okay, cool. If you're not going to charge me for it, she like, that's fine. Well, let me back up. So after that, she said, to prove that there was no leak, her mother lives next door. She tied her water into her mother's water line, and they went out every hour and recorded the meter usage. And in recording the meter usage, it showed that there was no leak. So we told Jackson Water this, but they said, we want Ford Plumbing to go out and look at it. She said, okay, sure. If it's not going to cost me anything. Okay. So Ford Plumbing went out and looked at it. And guess what they said?
What?
Ma'am, we cannot find a leak on your property anywhere. Okay. So I told Ted Hennepin, I said, Ted, Ford Plumbing cannot find a leak on her property anywhere. Can you please turn her water back on? This was about her water had been off for about a week now.
A
And
week?
so a week. So Ted had Carla Dezette, she works for them, email me, and Carla told me that if she wants her water turned back on, she has to pay $12,500 and we'll put the rest on the payment plan because there is a leak. I say, Ford Plumbing said it's not a leak. And guess what Carla told me when I said that?
What?
She said, well, I just spoke with Ford Plumbing and they said that she was still hooked into her mom's line. The meter is still locked. They didn't have a key to unlock the meter. So in order to determine if it's a leak or not, they got to go back out with the key to unlock the meter and then test it for a leak again.
That's not the constituent, the consumer, the client, what customer, none of that, as we would classify her. That's not her problem.
I thought that I was crazy because I emailed Carla back and I said, Carla, I said, number one, Ford Plumbing is your subcontractor, correct? Number two, why does Ford Plumbing not have keys to unlock the meter? Number three, you knew that Ford was going out there. So if they didn't have a key, why didn't you make sure that it was unlocked before they got there? And guess what her response was?
What? Not a moment of silence, I know.
Crickets. No response.
Listen, now we're reading the obituary silently. I know not.
She read the obituary silently. She read the Bible silently because to this day, I still have not gotten a response. So guess what? I reached out to Hennepin. I said, okay, send Ford back out, unlock the meter. Well, Ford was supposed to come back out and something happened. They couldn't make it that day, so they had to come another day. So Ford finally made it back out on Saturday of this past Saturday, I want to say. They came out, unlocked the meter, and guess what they found out when they unlocked the meter?
Oh, now she has a leak.
No leak. Unlocked the meter. It was no signs of a leak anywhere after the meter was unlocked. So reach out to Ted Hennepin, and guess what he says?
What?
We will be out tomorrow to replace the meter.
So you're going to replace the meter even though we've already identified there is no leak. But what are we going to do about restoring this customer's water?
And so the 29, well, in the midst of the $26,000 bill, they sent her two bills. One was for, I think, $26,000. The other one was like $33,000. Like, I guess she had accumulated some, I don't know. But he said, we're going to come and we're going to replace the meter. So basically, you're acknowledging that the meter is faulty if you're going to be replacing it. But the situation of what are we going to do as far as the credit was never addressed. So they basically came out, turned this old meter back on, and now my constituent has brown water coming in her house. So she sent me pictures. She said, I'm embarrassed to send you pictures. And she sent me pictures of the brown water. And so today they went out and put some kind of antenna or something on her meter. I guess, I don't know what they're doing over there, but these are the issues that I have. I understand that, there are some people out there that are abusing the system and are getting water illegally. I get that. I'm not justifying that. I'm not saying that people should not be paying water bills. But what I am saying is when you have an issue like this, it's no reason for you to leave a person's water off for 2 weeks when this person is pleading with you to try to find a solution. Because they tell me, we don't want to turn the water back on because it's a major leak. Well, y'all left it on for several months with a major leak. What is one more week going to hurt?
Correct.
So my issue is,
that's correct.
I had a leak in my house one time when I was on when City of Jackson still had the system. I got a bill for $10,000 for a water leak. It was a major water leak. Guess what the City of Jackson did?
What?
I was mad at the City of Jackson. When they came out there to read the meter and they saw I had a water leak, they turned my meter off and they put a note on my front door. You have a major water leak. We turned your meter off. Call a plumber. I was mad, but you know what? I called a plumber. He found the leak. When he found the leak, they came right back, turned my water back on, adjusted my bill so that I didn't have to pay for that water leak. So I was thinking that they were doing it to penalize me, but they were not. So my question to Jackson Water is, if you saw she had a water leak, number one, if you were out there billing monthly like you should, you would have caught this water leak before it got to be $26,000. Number
That part.
two, if you had good policy in place, you would have turned this water off and told this customer she had a leak and you need to get it fixed. And then you would determine that. Number three, I'm tired of y'all telling people anytime somebody has a high bill that it's a water leak. I have a church right now in Byram that water bill went from $6 a month to $500 to $800 a month. They told the church folks that you got a water leak, and the church got plumbers that go to the church. The church got a leak. I got another constituent over off of in the Sleepy Hollow area. They gave her a $76,000 water bill, $76,000, and told her to get a plumber out there to check it out. Well, guess what? She called the plumber out there. The plumber said, I can't check your water because there's a lock on the meter. So she told them, and guess what Jackson Water told her?
What?
If you want the lock off your meter, you got to pay us $25,000 to get it unlocked so you can check for a leak. Another one, $37,000 over off in the Longwood Drive area. A young man has a $37,000 water bill. Water been off for 2 months now.
What?
Yes, 2 months. Another lady, $6,000 water bill. The plumber said there's no leak at her house, but guess what? They turned her water off yesterday. I got another lady. She had an $1,800 bill. She didn't want to lose her water, so she went and made a cash payment of $1,800. I guess at some store, and they said take 3 to 4 days for it to post. But guess what? While it's posted, they disconnected her water, so she has no water and got to pay $100 to get it turned back on. And the issue that I have is you're doing this to people, but it's no office for them to walk into and say, hey, I want to dispute my water bill. There's no appeals process other than 2 people, Ted Hennepin and Carla, and they decide what they're going to do. Number 3, you can't even call Jackson Water because guess what? Artificial intelligence is what's running Jackson Water. I've been calling for 3 days and I can't even get a human on the phone. When I call, I get the AI system, and they got the AI system that sounds so good. They got people talking in the background like you're talking to a real call center. Because I said, y'all, this AI, you can hear the people chatting. I say, is this a person? I done left messages with AI. We calling them now. Let's see if they got AI still on here answering the calls. You can't even call anybody to dispute a bill. You can't get any live person on the phone. You cannot go to the office and it's just.
Thank you for holding. My name is Jimmy. What is this call in reference to?
Okay, is this Jackson Water?
Yes, this is Jackson Water.
Okay, I got a real person instead of AI this time. Hey, can you tell me, are you the call center? Or are you the actual representative at Jackson Water?
This is the after-hour call center for them, but was there something you needed assistance with?
Yes, I need to speak with a person, a human, not the AI system. Can you tell me what time I can call and get a person? Because I'm getting AI all day today.
Yeah, so it depends when it's busy. We're still trying to roll it out. I believe they're doing it when it's like really peak call time. But is there, like I said, is there anything that you need assistance with? Since I am trained up on the Jackson Water side a little bit, I can try to assist with whatever is needed.
Yeah, I called, I don't know what time they're not busy, but I started calling at 8 o'clock this morning, 10. I called at many different times. I'm really just trying to get a person on the line. So what I will do is I will call back in the morning.
Yeah, that works.
Thank you so much. Okay, so that's what happened with Jackson Water. So I didn't get the AI.
At nighttime in the evening, you have somebody designated to answer part-time.
Yes, somebody designated to answer part-time, but like he said, he can't help me because he's a call center. So what's going to happen is, just like AI do, they'll take my name and number, and in the morning they're supposed to call back. But I've called all day today, and he said during peak times, I guess their peak times is during regular business operating hours is their peak time, I guess, because I got the AI system. And so those are the issues that I have now with Jackson Water. And I'm going to go back, and I want to give credit where credit is due. When Jackson Water came in, they made some amazing strides in securing our system, making our system better. So they did a lot of good work. But what we have to realize is when you have $600 million, you should be able to make some great strides as far as getting the system to work. Now, I looked at the numbers, and hold on. I hope I wrote it on this paper here. It is, I don't have it here, how much I've got it on another piece of paper. I left it in the car. But when you look at the strides, they made some good strides. But what we have to look at now is, what is going on. And when we talk about things such as a public utility, we have to understand that we are dealing with people's lives, people's livelihoods. Not having water in your house is a health hazard.
Definitely.
Like I said, I'm not saying that you shouldn't turn water off. You should not disconnect water. I'm not saying that at all, because everybody has to pay a water bill. But what you tell me all the time, what your grandmama say, everybody ain't lying.
Everybody ain't telling the same lie on the same person.
And so every person I talk to that has an outrageous water bill, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000, Jackson Water is saying you have a water leak. Everybody don't have a water leak. If everybody had a water leak, then Jackson would be like the city of Atlanta. It'll be underwater. It'll be an underwater city if there were that many water leaks in the city of Jackson. Now, and there are some bad actors out there that are still getting water illegally. I'm not taking up for them. If they are, they need to be brought to justice. They need to be reprimanded. But you cannot sit here and we talk about single parents that out here struggling and trying to pay water bills. You cannot, you can't do that. Now, Judge Wingate put in place here we go. Yeah, this is what I want to talk about. I got it right here. So when Jackson Water took over, there were 40 million gallons of water being lost to bad water leaks in a day in the city of Jackson.
Wow.
So $600 million later, guess what? Now there's 20 million gallons a day. So for $600 million, they've gotten half of the water leaks and fixed based upon, with improvements. Another thing that Mayor Horn brought to our attention today is that, trying to get the terminology correct, collection efforts with the city of Jackson, with Jackson Water. So when we look at collection efforts, they're still having a problem as far as collecting on past due balances and past due bills. But Jackson Water, y'all probably having a problem because I don't know many people that have $26,000 for a water bill. And so they're having debt collection issues. I think I heard there are about 4,000 people right now. I got notes everywhere, y'all, I'm sorry. But they have about 4,000 accounts right now that they're saying are not registered. And so 4,000 accounts where they're not really billing the people on these 4,000 accounts.
Wow.
So we need to figure out, how do we start billing them? And so there is, and y'all, somebody gonna correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know the correct terminology. I want to say it's a debt service payment. So what happens is there's a debt service payment that has to be made to kind of pay some of this money back, from my understanding, that Jackson Water is supposed to be paying. Guess who's paying the money?
The city?
The city of Jackson.
Wow.
So the city of Jackson has been footing this bill for this debt service repayment, because if they default on it, it will allow the Mississippi Department of Revenue to withhold the sales tax dollars for the city of Jackson. So no municipality has ever defaulted. So basically, the city of Jackson is having to pay that while they're still waiting to get reimbursed from Jackson Water, because garbage bills are tied into Jackson Water. So it is pretty much a catastrophe as to what's going on right now. But I feel that it's important that we talk about these things, because when the city of Jackson had the water system, oh my God, everything was put all out in the open. And it's important that we start having these conversations now, because in 2026, the federal conservatorship will be over, and it's going to be, the judge is going to decide, along with the state legislature, we're going to decide what happens with the water system. And I do not want the city of Jackson to assume the liability of this water system and it's failing, and then the public blames the city of Jackson for poor management of the water system when there's no more money left to maintain it and keep it going. So we need to start talking about the failures of, or what's working and what's not working, because 2026 will be here before we know it.
Sure will. 2 months away.
2 months away. I mean, I literally yesterday I put a call of action out to consider constituents saying, if you have water issues, please email me and let me know what's going on. When I tell you my email box blew up and it's still blowing up, it's still people reaching out to me about issues that they're having. And once again, everybody's not making this up. Everybody doesn't have a water leak. Some
Correct.
people do have water leaks because that does happen. I understand that, but not everybody does. So those are the things that we need to be talking about. I want to hear more people talking about this. Nobody's talking about what we have going on. We got to start talking about it, because when the mess hits the fan, we need to know who threw it up there to hit the fan.
Correct.
We need to start waiting on it to hit the fan, and then we point, they did this, they messed this up, pointing fingers. We need to start being transparent in the beginning. And I want to commend Mayor Horn, and I told them this in the hearing. I want to commend you because out of all the hearings that I've been through with Jackson Ward and the city of Jackson, you have been the most transparent in giving testimony as to what is going on. Because it's always been the city of Jackson and the current administration, we want the water system back. It has, but Mayor Horn said, hey, we're open to having a regional board to manage the water system as long as we have a say-so on the board, since it's serviced by Jackson, as long as Byram has a say-so because we're on Jackson Water. And so I appreciate his transparency, telling us about the debt service payment that the city of Jackson's have to pay, telling us about the collection efforts of Jackson Water. Because the thing about this is, and I'm not in any way, shape, form, or fashion beating up on Jackson Water. Jackson Water, you came in and you inherited a problem. We knew it was a problem when you inherited it. So I'm not saying that y'all messed it up. Y'all have done some great things and taken great strides. But one thing I will say is that your customer service is garbage. You have not done anything in regard to customer service for the citizens of Jackson and the citizens of Jackson Water. I just have to call a spade a spade. I think of our elderly citizens. I think of my mom. If my mom lived in Jackson and had an issue with her water, my mom, she want to walk in, sit down with her pocketbook in her lap and go talk to them about her water bill. She will have that pocketbook in her lap and her notes and sitting down talking to them about her water bill.
As she should.
That service is not extended with Jackson Water. There's no appeal process with this $30,000 bill. This $26,000 bill, like I told you, they told her you got to pay $12,500 and we'll turn your water back on and put you on the payment plan after that. Who has $12,500 laying around?
They had that. That wouldn't even be the issue.
That wouldn't even be the issue if they had that. And so, those are my issues. And these are things that, we're going to bring up. I'm getting all of this drafted up really, really nicely, redacting some personal information so that I can have a conversation with Jackson Water, not the AI system, but I want to have a conversation with them. I want to have a conversation with them about this and what it is that we need to do, because at the end of the day, it's all about the citizens of Jackson. It's about the ratepayers, the people that are paying for Jackson Water. It's not about an elected official. It's not about the people running Jackson Water. It's about my people that don't have water because of mismanagement and poor customer service. Lackluster customer service is what it's all about. We got to do better.
I totally agree. So we will bid you all a good evening. Before we go, we definitely have an underwriter. Again, we don't endorse any candidates. But I do want to let you all know there is a forum going on tonight as we speak at Anderson for Senate District 26. They're having their forum tonight, but I do know that make certain you're choosing your person wisely that you want to represent you. And so we do have, like I said, an underwriter. We're not endorsing any candidates, but I do want to share her information because she asked. That's Miss Stephanie Meacham. She's running for Hinds County Coroner, serving justice, honoring life. And she has 30 years of experience. That's one of her bullet points. She's compassionate, transparent, and commitment to justice. So make certain, everyone, that you are definitely vetting your candidates, because we'll be voting in a week or two. We'll be voting in a week or two for our coroner, and then those who live in Senate District 26, they'll be voting for their new senator. So make certain that you all are definitely adhering to the information that's being delivered.
That's it. This is a very, very important race, everybody. Please make sure. One more thing I want to add to that. Make sure that you're properly researching the candidates that you're voting for, not on, but you're voting for, voting on, well, that you're voting, whoever you bubbling in at the box. Make sure that you're properly researching them for yourself. I'm going to tell y'all a little secret a lot of people probably don't know. The closer it gets to election day is the more mud starts to get slung. So
True.
you're going to hear all kind of rumors, all kind of things that are not true. Please don't let that be a distraction. Research it for yourself. That's politics. It's dirty. It's been like that since the beginning of time. It's going to be like that until the end of time. Make sure that you're going in with a clean heart and you're researching these people. And please don't feed into the garbage that these folks out here putting around. Don't do it. I already told Brittany we're gonna get us a garbage truck and she's gonna drive it. We're gonna name it Waste Management. She's gonna drive it, and I'm gonna be on the back of it. And we're gonna pick up all this trash around here that's doing stuff and saying stuff about folks they shouldn't be saying. I'm for a cleaner Hines County because we deserve better. And that's my stump speech. If I'm gonna call me the garbage man, that's fine. We are gonna clean it up because I'm gonna stop allowing people to come out here and tarnish people's good names just because they're running for office, and you can't beat them on policy. So you want to try to beat them in other places by putting false narratives out about them. That's one thing I don't play about when it comes down to people. I don't care, even if I don't like a candidate, if I hear somebody out here making up lies about them, I'm going to check them because people didn't sign up. People didn't sign up for this to be lied on.
Correct.
If you can find enough about a person on the policy beliefs that you can stick to how they feel, how they are on policy. Ms. Brenda, you are very, very, very welcome, Ms. Brenda. And Ms. Brenda says she paying more now as a single person than when she had a full household. Y'all are changed, getting ready to come. All right, on that note, thank you, Evangelist Lawson and everybody else. Y'all, I don't have class, so I'm going to pack up and get on down to 55 South and see what's going on in my neck of the woods. I might pull on up at the Byron Chamber of Commerce, not Chamber of Commerce, Lord, the Byron Board of Aldermen. It's a long day, y'all. I've been driving all day. That's a whole nother story, though. Y'all take care. Thank you so much. I'm Evangelist Lawson. I try my best to do the right thing. It's not always pretty, but Evangelist Lawson, I'll tell you, I got to do the right thing because I know Jesus got my crown on layaway up there right now. So I lose a stone every now and then, so I gotta kick us. He got it on. It's on layaway. He just have it holding that baby. Now to mess up the day, I'm gonna take it back. So my crown keep getting repossessed. So Evangelist Lawson, I got to do the right thing to keep my crown, so I can see you in glory. Because I know Evangelist gonna be there in glory, so I want to be there with you. Miss Bowman, what you over there? All right, y'all. Miss Bowman over there representing Terry High School and Byron Middle School colors. We appreciate you. All right, y'all cut up enough tonight. Let me get on off of this thing. All right,
you
y'all
all be
take
safe, be blessed, and enjoy the week and weekend. And we'll see you all next Thursday.
All right, see y'all next Thursday. All right, Miss Bowman.
Bye.
Oh, look at Miss Barrett talking comical like Doc. I get it from her dad. I get it honestly. I get it honestly. The older I get, the more I get like her. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care of yourself and each other, and we're gonna keep on praying for our city, our county. And if y'all see a blue and orange garbage truck with reliable representation on it, y'all will know it's a cleanup crew coming. Y'all take care. Sadly, some people won't fit in them, Ms. Bowman.